Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, there lived a young boy named Rinku. Unlike the other children in the village, Rinku wasn't blessed with fancy clothes or the latest toys. In fact, his clothes were often patched and his shoes were more holes than leather. But what Rinku lacked in material possessions, he made up for in his infectious laughter and his heartwarming smile, which could light up any gloomy day. Every morning, Rinku woke up before the sun to help his mother carry water from the lake to their house. He took this chore as seriously as any knight taking on a quest, balancing the heavy pots on his head and carefully making his way over the uneven terrain. His mother, though she often scolded him for daydreaming and not paying attention, couldn't help but beam with pride at her son's unwavering determination. Every evening, after the day's heat had subsided and the villagers had settled in for the night, Rinku would gather leftover grains from his family's meals and rush out to feed the hungry birds. He would scatter the grains on the ground and watch with innocent delight as the birds squabbled and chirped, their tiny bodies a flurry of feathers and beaks. To Rinku, these moments of sharing were the most precious times of his day. One particularly cold winter day, Rinku was returning home from one of his grain runs when he noticed an old man sitting by the side of the road. The man's clothes were tattered and his hair and beard flowed like tangled ropes reaching down to his knees. But it was the old man's bare feet that tugged at Rinku's heartstrings. They were gnarled and worn, and the sight of them sent a shiver down Rinku's spine. Without a moment's hesitation, Rinku took off his own scarf, the only warm thing he owned, and rushed to the old man. "You need this more than I do," Rinku said, his voice echoing with conviction. He wrapped the scarf around the old man's shoulders, who looked at Rinku with eyes filled with gratitude. Then, without another word, Rinku turned and walked home, his feet now bare and exposed to the biting wind. That night, as Rinku lay in bed, he couldn't help but feel the chill seeping through his thin blanket. His nose and toes were ice cold, but a warmth spread through his chest, a feeling far more comforting than any blanket. As he drifted off to sleep, he thought about the old man and hoped he was warm enough. The next morning, when Rinku got up, he noticed something strange. Near his bed was a small wooden box. It was beautifully carved, but what caught Rinku's attention was the intricate design of a bird taking flight. There was no name on the box, and Rinku had no idea where it came from. Curiosity gnawed at him, and eventually he couldn't resist. He lifted the lid, and inside he found a note that read, "For the kind boy who warmed a stranger's heart on a winter's day, kindness is the most powerful magic. This box will always give you what you need, not what you want." At first, Rinku was confused. He didn't understand what the note meant. But as the days passed, he began to realize that the box was a magical gift in response to his act of kindness towards the old man. Whenever he truly was in need, the box would materialize exactly what he needed. Warm clothes to shield him from the winter chill, extra food for his family during hard times, even books to help him study and become a teacher. But Rinku never misused the box. He knew that using it for selfish desires would drain it of its magic. Instead, he used it only when he absolutely needed to, and never bragged about his good fortune. Whenever anyone asked him about the box, he would only smile mysteriously and change the subject. Years flew by like birds in the sky, and Rinku grew up. His thirst for knowledge grew, and with the help of the box, he was able to study and eventually become a teacher in the same village he grew up in. He taught not just numbers and letters, but also the importance of kindness and compassion. And though the box grew old and its glow faded with time, Rinku never needed it again. Because now he had become the gift. The magic of kindness flowed from him freely, warming the hearts of everyone he met. And that, my friends, is the tale of how a simple act of kindness can create ripples of warmth that last a lifetime.